Hello. I hope you're having a good week. I've been busy putting together a free craft workshop. I'm taking some additional craft training during the month of September. And last week, I learned an exercise that I loved and I think is really helpful when it comes to communication. So I had to share it with you. If you don't know what CRAFT is an acronym for Community Reinforcement and Family Training. It's a scientifically supported, evidence based, clinically proven approach to help families of substance users. CRAFT originated at the University of New Mexico and it was developed by Robert Meyers, Ph.D., and his colleagues. And research and clinical trials have given evidence that with the right tools, families can affect change. Family support is so important. CRAFT has three goals. Number one, to teach you skills to take care of yourself. Number two, to teach you skills to help your loved one change. And number three, to reduce substance use. The workshop that I'm offering is built around communication tools, which I think helps with all three of those goals. Clearly communicating how you feel in a positive way is an important part of taking care of yourself. It acknowledges that your needs are important too. It's also a skill that can help your child change and play a part in reducing their substance use. So, how you communicate and the energy behind your words is a key component of craft. And before I learned about craft and coaching, and I just have to honor that I found both of them at the same time and they really complement each other, which helped me change my experience. But before I found craft and coaching, I wasn't taking care of myself at all. I didn't have the bandwidth to show up how I wanted to as a mom. I was completely exhausted and empty. I had no idea how to help Helena, my daughter, reduce her substance use. In fact, everything that I was doing was just escalating her rebellion and making her want to use more. And the other part of that was reducing substances wasn't even an option for me. I was dead set on sobriety. That was the only acceptable solution for me, which again created so much tension and chaos in my house. I would have given anything to find these skills to help my daughter change. I used to Google it all the time, constantly Googling, what do I do when my child doesn't want to stop using drugs? How do I get her to stop? And I would try to figure out like all different ways to Google something like that. I just wanted answers like, what do I do when she won't stop? And all of the results that I found were what to do if she was willing to stop. And it was beyond frustrating. But once I found craft, I learned tools that I could use even when she didn't want to stop, which is such a huge relief because we hear so often, you just got to wait. There's nothing you can do. And that's just not true. And then I also learned how important positive communication was and ways to communicate with her so that she could feel heard and understood. I stopped arguing and trying to get her to see things my way. That was so important to me because I just knew if I could make her understand, if she could just see things my way, if she could just see the damage that she was causing to herself, that she would stop using. But that did not work. It was just had the opposite effect on her. What really needed to happen was for her to feel safe with me and understood. I actually had to see things her way and learn how to communicate to her in a way that she felt heard and understood. So, Wednesday, the 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern, that's next Wednesday, I'm holding a free workshop where we will focus, and it's going to be on Zoom, where we will focus on one positive communication tool. And we're only going to do one because I've taught these tools before and it takes a lot of practice, and you don't want to try to do too much at once or you'll get really confused. So you want to get good at one at a time. So I'll teach you that and then we're going to practice it. And practice is critical because it's one thing to learn something, but then it is totally another thing when you try to implement it. So I want to make sure you feel confident trying out what you learned after the workshop so you're able to use those communication skills with your child. So there's a link in the show notes to learn more and sign up. I hope I see you there.